This is probably not appropriate for me to start with the P reading. Um, Xavier Worthy got falsely accused of assault, and he was the one that was assaulted because she cheated. He got proof of this. He did what he was supposed to do. But she thought she was getting away with it, and she probably was being really, really slick. And that might have been the reason that he waited 2 weeks. He wanted to make sure that he had backup copies of whatever proof he had. I would. If he hired a PI to find out if his fiancée was cheating, then the PI could find out, show him, and then he could take those bits of evidence, photos, or proof of her being at a certain place with a certain guy, whatever the case was. And then he could back up those copies. And truth be told, he may not have been in town. I don't know. I mean, was he in town when he confronted her? Or before he confronted her, I mean. At the end of the day, what it came down to was that he did confront her and she pitched a fit. From what I understand, she started to trash his house and attack him. This is something that is becoming so common. And there was one guy that said, you know, you red pill guys like to say that if you have all the money, she'll do what you want. Well, let me correct you. Red pill guys aren't really the ones that have said that. Dating coaches have said this, and some white red pill guys have said stuff like this. But we in the black manosphere have actually questioned that. First, we questioned it. Then later we said, no, that ain't the case. They don't. They don't do what you want. You look at that woman, you would say, well, she's really cute. She is, but that's how I knew she would do this. I hate to say that, but see, Western sisters have conditioned me to expect bad behavior from them based on how good they look. Now, it's not supposed to be that way, but let's call it for the what it is. That's how they behave. So now we know and we understand that they're going to behave badly because they can. And if you don't tolerate it, it's going to take them a long time to understand and realize the pattern. Oh, wait, these guys aren't tolerating us acting like this anymore. It's going to take them a while to get that. You're going to say, oh, wait a minute. For another 2 decades, they're probably going to say, girl, look at me. I look like this. I can act any way I want. And I don't slide no man's DMs. And I don't value no man. And I don't treat them nice and, you know, brag about what they don't do for a man. It'll take them 20 years probably to realize these men are not playing with you. For them to sit up and say men wised up because the information leaked is going to be the last thing they do. First, they're going to go through we're 9AY, we're zesty, we're sassy, we're anything but men. It's going to take them a while to realize that in actuality, we said, well, we realized what it was. They looked at how they look and decided that they would base their behavior against their looks. The better I look, the worse I can behave, so the worse I will behave. And we just caught on to that. Pessimistic ways of thinking are key to understand Western women, white or black, but especially Western black women, because that's who you're around more often. It's not really because they're worse. In the long run, I don't really know. In the short run, definitely. But you have to keep in mind that they start off telling you right off the bat Now, what that does do is it creates a very hostile situation because not only do they start off this way with you hostile, but they also hold your lack of experience with them against you. And they're making sure that as long as you stay with sisters, you're going to have less experience with women in general. Then they hold that against you. So you can't really win with them. And she's one example of this. You could be Xavier Worthy. She'd just pull your dreads out because you caught her. For her to sit up there and say, yeah, I had a good thing and I cheated, it's just too much for her. It's too much for many of these ladies nowadays. There's a lag in the effects between the right decision. There's a lag in time between the right decision and the effects of it. But there's also a lag in between the wrong decisions and the effects of it. However, that lag takes a lot less time. Remember the simping songs of the 80s and 90s. And you can kind of forgive them because there was a lot of red pill information that just wasn't out there. There was no internet, let alone social media. You can understand that. When Jodeci sang, I can't leave you alone, you got me fiending. Well, I mean, the guys could sing and it's a love song. And you could sit up and say, yeah, that's some of the heartbreak and that's what's going on. But it's a song. But then later on, you begin to realize that to these women, when these women sit up and say, it's just music, it's just dancing, when these women dance like SLUTSs, or SLUTs, I should say, when they dance like this, they say it's just dancing, but now we've seen that it's not just dancing. When these ladies are sitting up and saying, I'm just singing a song, now we see that they're not taking any of this as if it's just a song. And this is why when women look like his ex-fiancee, they feel they can do this. But this is also a lesson. There is no man on whom they will not cheat. So you can't sit up here and start beating yourself up because a B word cheated on you or somebody you know. You can't be sitting up talking about something, what did I do? Just look at her. The better she looks, the more likely she is to cheat. It's not even because of the quality of all the men that are coming after. It's not that. You could be Xavier Worthy. How many Xavier Worthys are trying to get at her at the same time? What it is, gentlemen, what they're not telling you is that it has to be a dual mating strategy. Now, usually the man that is a professional, well-paid athlete would tick both boxes, the physicality and the money that they want. So a lot of times these women would have latched on to these men and said, that's it, I'm keeping him because he's got the muscle and the money. I don't have to choose. Well, now what they're saying is, no, shuck that fit. I want more muscle. He's an NFL player. He's not a bodybuilder. He's not a personal trainer. I'll be with him for the money. I'll be with another guy for the muscle. In other words, what I'm telling you is the man with whom she was cheating would have never had a chance at her if she didn't already have the financial security that she wanted with Xavier Worthy until she screwed it up by getting caught. So when you hear about these women cheating on these kinds of men, you got to understand most of the time they wouldn't have these dudes on the side unless they had someone like a Xavier Worthy that was their main. They wouldn't do it. Gisele Bündchen, who did she cheat with? You think that man would have had a chance with her if she wasn't married to Tom Brady? Wasn't getting that money from him? No. That's the whole point. That's why it is that when you see these women that look like that and they're single, they stay single. They're not trying to get at you. They ain't trying to get at nobody we know. Ain't nobody we know getting with them when they're single. But then when somebody successful enough comes along and is with them, then they got somebody else on the side. I believe what some of these cats say. Married women nowadays in the West are very easily accessible, but they will get you dead. Because you see, if his ex-fiancee was willing to do all of this when he showed her the evidence, he showed her the evidence she was cheating. If he had merely said, I know that y'all had sex over here at this particular place that one time, then should have been like he pinned me down. she would have got him dead. The side dude. Because these women will do that. Olivia Alexa talked about that. She said when these older women try to get with these younger dudes, they know what they're doing. And then one of the reasons why they deny younger dudes when they're young is so that they're saving them for when they get older. They've all got this agreement. So then she gets older, she can have a little fling on with a young dude on the side. But if they get busted, she gonna throw that young dude under the bus and have her husband do him in. It is dangerous out there for anybody. There's no level of success you can get to where they're not going to treat you like crap. You are stuck there all the time. It's always that. I wish it wasn't like that, but it is. This is why it is that I tell you guys what I tell you. It's war, gentlemen. Everything that you're not capable of bringing yourself to accept as a man, they're offering and trying to limit the menu to exactly that. They're trying to limit the menu to whatever it is that they know you should not accept. They're trying to limit the menu to exactly that which they cannot respect you if you accept. If they can respect you for a particular choice you might make, they take that choice off the menu. What does that tell you? They don't want to respect you under any circumstances. Stop trying to get their attention. Don't help them by yourselves on the side of the road. The rules of seclusion in between men and women that are in my religion are the good rules to follow where you are. Don't shake hands with the women that are not close relatives to you or your wives. You could be nice and polite, but there need to be some witnesses around. If she's by herself on the side of the road, you pull over, you roll your window down, and you say to her, listen, I want to call for some help. Well, can't you do it, ma'am? I'm supposed to stay in the car. You don't even have to explain it. You could just say, I'm supposed to stay in the car. I signed an agreement with someone, but I'm not abandoning you either. I'm calling for help for you. That's how you do it. And she may be a little ticked off. Why can't you get out and change this tire? Whatever the case, just be like, ma'am, I need to stay in this car. It's not because of you. It's an agreement I signed, but I saw you on the side of the road. Now, if I make you feel uncomfortable, I'll pull off and leave. And that's if you choose to even do anything. You may just take a note of the mile marker and then call for help for her. Some professional help. Somebody that has a camera in their car or truck. Because these days, if you sit up here, and this happened actually, I saw the video of the sister of the guy that was accused. You could save a woman from choking and you're called into HR a few days later. We've heard that story already. These women are sitting up and saying, these men are watching women struggle with all these bags. She's talking about men that don't know these women. And I would tell any woman, ma'am, if you need help, I'll take it to the top of your staircase. Can't you carry it to my door? No, I don't want you to have to take it up the stairs, but for your security, don't let any strangers know where you live. Now, I'm very difficult for her to accuse of anything. And that's if I choose to help. The better thing for me to do is to move away because you don't want her to come walk up and approach you. Can you help me with this? She would never approach you to ask for your phone number, even if she wanted to. No, stay away, stay a distance. You can't get involved. And even when you reach your level of success and you find someone that's you think is good enough to wife up, and you commit to her, she cheats, and you reach the level of success. What we're seeing now is that you can become one of those rare examples of hyper success, but you cannot have her to yourself. And if you accept her cheating, she can't respect you. And if you don't accept her cheating, she's going to do it anyway. You don't have a right way to go about this. You might as well go ahead and just save up your dough and go elsewhere. That's what you have to do. Because God knows. See, if I had to go back to God, Allah, please don't make me have to go back to the States. Please, Allah, spare me from that permanently. But if I had to go back, I already know there's nobody there to marry. And it doesn't matter what kind of financial situation I create for myself. There's nobody there. It's over. And at my age, it's a bit easier. But, for you young guys, you have to go through your youth pretty much consistently alone. And yes, that is their fault. Now, there's nothing to avenge per se, but you can't sit up here and later on say, well, you know what, it's time for me to find someone, time for me to get with someone, and then think that you can find someone that's not going to cheat. You can't. They are embarrassed if they don't cheat. Did you all know that a lot of these women are actually embarrassed nowadays to be faithful to a husband? You have to have cameras on in your house, even with your wife. This woman pretty much pulled what we say white women would pull on a black man. Unfortunately, he got out. But the fact is that he should not have had to go in behind bars at all. Bow Wow can't get no better of a deal than that. Tom Hanks' son, Chet Hanks, can't get no better of a deal than that. Doesn't matter who you are. You cannot get a better deal than what they're offering. They're offering you bad deals and they know what they're doing. They're doing it on purpose, and it's a big joke, a big laugh to them. As far as they're concerned, you deserve it. And that's why that lady said that the biggest red flag is a heterosexual man or a straight man. They believe that for being straight, you deserve this hell. And that's why they want to limit you to any option other than that. Either you share these women, you can't bring yourself to do that, or they want you with another dude and you can't bring yourself to do that. Or they want to accuse you of being with another species or someone underage. It's always that. They want you to be limited to these options so badly. And if you catch them doing something like cheating, they'll do anything to get out of it. And one lady even said that he should have kicked her out 2 weeks ago. My suspicion is that he has a good reason for not doing it. And you know what? Some of the most militant of the black manosphere men have been right. And I've seen them. When I first heard them say this, I held off on saying it's true or it's not until I would see evidence of it. But yeah, these are not our women. Omar Johnson's daughter wants to throw him under the bus to get in touch with his sister, but she pretty much admitted that she never wanted to stay with him because he had structure and order. Many women say they want a good man until he shows up with boundaries, order, structure, and discipline. So let that be a lesson to us. You know they're definitely going to fight structure, order, and discipline because they can't even bring themselves to stop cheating. And when they get caught, they can't bring themselves to say, yeah, I screwed that up. Let me go and pack my stuff and leave. What she wanted was for Xavier Worthy to fund her cheating what her side do. That's what that was. And that's what they want from you. And that's what they want from me. That's what they want from us in general. You're going to have to go where they don't want that. And unfortunately, many of Africa's big cities are no longer that. They're falling victim to. Kuala Lumpur probably has fallen victim since the last time I was there. It's been over 5 years now. Unfortunately, a lot of you are going to have to train yourselves for that unnatural solitude. Not because it's the morally right thing to do, that's also an extreme, but because it's just the lesser of all the evils. But understand that when it comes down to that, that's not your fault. They chose that. They decided to make every other option far worse. So you're not going to be able to feel guilt about this stuff anymore. Not justifiably. You never had the option of finding someone that was attractive to you and you're attracted to her and y'all just be faithful to each other. Or even you marry 2 or 3 or 4, but you don't cheat on them. That was never an option. They were never going to allow that. You previously were wanted to become successful so that she could at least be far from poverty. Now it's that you are wanted to become successful, that you can fund them cheating with somebody else. You can fund them bouncing up and down on top of another man's ding-a-ling. That's real. I hope that it doesn't stay like this forever, even for very long, but I'm afraid it will. But in the meantime, I hope that what I said helps you. Thank you for listening. Black Heart, Black Mind, Blackout, Assalamu Alaikum, Black Heterosexual, Non-Select Male Power because they don't like it, Black Patriarchy until extinction or Judgment Day. Thank you for flying with us here on Jet Black Air, where the phrase Jet Black's also a verb. Keep jetting black with us till the wings and the wheels fall off. Gender justice forever.